any more precious minutes. And yesterday we were talking about routines. And so we were doing an exercise. We were doing one last exercise where we had to complete a paragraph about a person's routine. So we're going to go ahead and finish that. And then we'll continue. Let's see. So we were right over here, right? We were talking about Philip's routine. Nos estaba contando Philip lo que él hace en su día a día. Y nos quedamos aquí antes de que se nos acabara la clase. Now, you guys tell me, were you able to finish or would you like to take a few minutes to complete it? ¿Terminamos ayer, chicos, o quieren que nos tomemos unos minutitos para acabar?
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay?
Finish. It's okay.
Finish.
Okay, wonderful. So in that case, all we have to do is go ahead and check. So I believe we were at about here, but let's go ahead and do it all over again. So Philip is telling us what he does every day on a typical day. So he says, my name is Philip, and I'm in a stand-up paddle surfing club. We meet very early on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On those days, I get up at 5 in the morning, 5 a.m. And then he was saying first, and then what did we put here? ¿Qué pusimos aquí? How did we fill this?
Get dressed.
I get dressed. Yes. So pronunciation here. A lot of the times you're going to come across words that end in ed. So most of the times when you see those words, it's like you're going to pronounce this ed as a T. So instead of saying get dressed, you're going to say get dressed. Fíjense que en muchas ocasiones, en la mayoría de las palabras que yo tenga que terminan así en ed, no voy a pronunciarlo tal cual como ed. Ustedes saben que a los que hablan inglés les encanta tragarse letras. Entonces, ¿qué es lo que voy a hacer? En lugar de pronunciarlo dressed, lo voy a pronunciar como si fuera una T. Dressed. ¿Se fijan? Suena como si dijera dressed en lugar de dressed. So here I would say get dressed. Go ahead and repeat after me. Get dressed.
Get dressed.
Yes, well done. So he says, I get dressed in a swimsuit and a t-shirt. Our club meets at 6. We, and then what did we put here?
Exercise.
We exercise. Good. We exercise on the beach and get in the water. By 7:15, I'm back at home and what does he do?
Take a shower.
I take a shower. Wonderful. Then he says, at 7:45, I
Have a breakfast.
have breakfast. Wonderful. Usually some cereal and fresh fruit. I leave for school at 8:05. It isn't far. And then he says, what? At 8:30.
Start
School.
I start school. And then after he returns from school in the afternoon, he says, we
have lunch.
We have lunch at 12:30. Usually I eat a salad and a sandwich. After school, I like to hang out with friends. Back at home, I
Do my work.
Do my homework.
do my homework in the morning. In the evening after dinner. And then finally, at night, I always
Brush my
teeth.
teeth.
brush my teeth before I
Go to bed.
go to bed.
To bed.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and check. And looks like everything is great. Now, a few notes. Teeth. So these are my teeth. Now, it happens, exactly. Sometimes it happens that some people say teeth. Es un error bien común que cuando yo quiero decir dientes, yo pienso, como es plural, pues lleva ese al final, ¿no? Teeth. Pero teeth ya es el plural. El singular is tooth. So if I'm talking about one tooth, all the teeth. Algo así como lo que decíamos de child y children. ¿Se acuerdan? Child es uno, pero nunca voy a decir childs, ni voy a decir children's. Children ya es el plural. Igual aquí. Teeth ya es el plural, entonces no se me vayan a equivocar y ponerme teeths o tooths. Tooth is one singular, teeth is all of them, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now, that's it regarding routines, but I want to make a little note regarding time. So, como información extra, chicos, luego lo vamos a ver más adelante, pero como información extra, here they mention a lot of times. So when you have a time that looks like this, we're going to say this as 5 o'clock. Cuando nosotros veamos una hora así que termina en ceros, así lo voy a decir, 5 o'clock. Acuérdense que mi O es como decir un cero. Entonces es como algo así como si dijera las 5 ceros, porque no tengo nada, estoy en el punto. Entonces, las 5 en punto, cualquier hora en punto, o'clock. So 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, etc. Now, anything else you can say like the regular number. For instance, 7:15. Nosotros a lo mejor diríamos 7:15. Allá no se usa tanto. Sí puedes decir 7:15, pero realmente lo común es que digan el número de minutos tal cual. So I would say 7:15. También nosotros es muy común que a los 30 minutos decimos la media. Allá no se usa tanto. Solo decimos el 30 tal cual. So you could say like this. You wouldn't say 6.5. 6.5. No diría 6:30. It's not something that they use. Instead, I would just say 6:30. That's it. And if I'm talking about like a number that has a 0, like here, you can see that we have 805. So we're going to apply that same rule where whenever you have a 0, you're going to pronounce it like an O. So you would say 8:05. Whenever you have some sort of 0, 8:05, 8:07, that's just the regular way of saying it. So that's just a little note. Since we talked about numbers, here is how we do numbers when it comes to time. Questions, you guys, about the exercise or about the way that we tell time? Nope.
No.
Nope.
Fantastic. Okay, so in that case, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. We're going to do this exercise here, and we're going to do something similar to what Philip did in the previous exercise. You guys are going to think about your daily routine, what you do in the morning, what you do in the afternoon, if you go to work, if you go to school, if you read a book at some point, if you exercise, whatever you do during the day, you're going to write it. You can make a list if you want, or you can write a paragraph like Philip like this one. And then we're going to talk about them. So you guys are going to write your own personal routine, and then we're going to talk about them. So for instance, for me, my routine would be something like I get up at 7 o'clock, and I walk my dogs. Then I go home and have breakfast. After breakfast, I take a shower. At 9 o'clock, I go to work. I eat lunch at 1 p.m. and I go home at 2 o'clock. At 3, I watch TV. And then I read a book. At 6, I make dinner. And at 7, I go online for English class. I go to bed at 10 o'clock, for instance, right? So something like this is what you're going to do. You're going to tell me the number of activities that you do during a regular day. Questions, you guys, about the exercise? Nope.
Nope.
Pretty clear? Wonderful. So take a few minutes, take your time. It's a little long. You don't have to no me tienen que contar una novela, no se apuren, nada más lo más básico de lo que hagan todos los días. And that's pretty much it. We will share here in class with the rest of your classmates. And then I'm looking forward to reading your routines. But in the meantime, go ahead and take your time, and I'll see you in a few minutes. I'm going to pause the recording while you guys work.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, please go ahead.
I get up at 5 a.m. and I take a shower. I brush my teeth. I breakfast and I go to work. I eat a lunch at 1:30 p.m. and go to home at 5 o'clock. And 7, I go online for English class.
Okay, and then what time do you go to bed? What time do you go to sleep?
Oh, 11.
11. Wow, that's pretty late.
Yeah.
And you wake up at 5?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you need to sleep a little more.
Yeah, it's my routine in
Wow.
Toronto.
Okay, so that's a hard routine. Sounds pretty hard. Thank you so much, Alan. The only thing I would make a note of is teeth. I think you told me something. I think you told me something like teeth. Teeth. Remember,
Teeth.
the TH, it's almost like you're biting your tongue. Es como si te mordieras la lengua, como si tuvieras un ceseo. Teeth. Can you go ahead and do it?
Teeth.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Loved it. Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, let me ask, Fatima, how do you feel? Do you want to share your routine?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, please go ahead whenever you're ready.
A ver, me da un poquito de nervios, pero a ver.
No worries, no worries, no worries.
I get up at 9 o'clock. I get dressed to exercise. I finish my routine and take a shower. After breakfast and in the afternoon, I'm with my family or summit with friends. Mm, with friends at 4 o'clock. They Fred, me, me and the and activities I do to 7 o'clock. I go to English class, and when I leave to the street with my parents, I at 11. At 9, I wash my face and take and to sleep.
Okay, fantastic. That's wonderful, Fatima. Wonderful job. The only correction I would do is I heard you say this word. Esta palabra me la dijiste como het. This is what we call a soft G. A esta G le decimos, haz de cuenta, una G suavecita. Entonces, en lugar de pronunciarla fuerte como G, la voy a pronunciar como G, la suavecita. Entonces, en lugar de het, voy a decir get. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Everything else was aces. Thank you so much, Fatima. Thank you for sharing your routine with us. Next, I'm going to ask Corina. Would you like to share your routine with the rest of the class? I don't know if you're talking, Corina, but I can't hear you. Nope. Nope. Okay. So never mind. Never mind. We'll get back to you. We'll get back to you. Let me ask Marisol, would you like to share your routine with us?
Yes. I wake up at 6 o'clock and I check my email and WhatsApp. I get up at 6:20 and I take a shower. I have breakfast at 7. At 7:30, I start to work. At 1:30, take a lunch. I go online for English class at 7. I have dinner at 8:30. I read a book at 9. At 11, I brush my teeth, and 11:30, I go to bed.
Fantastic. Also a very long day, just like Alan. You must be kind of tired, Marisol. You guys go to bed
Yes.
super late. I'm in
Yes.
awe of you. So the only
Miss,
thing...
¿ya me escucha?
Ya, ahora sí te escucho, Corina. Perfecto.
Es que me cambié mi celular. ¿Puedo participar?
Sure. Give me just one sec.
Okay.
I just want to tell Marisol a little note that I have.
Okay.
You
Yes.
told me this word, you pronounced it as diner. So we would say dinner, right? I have
Okay.
dinner. Because the word diner actually does exist. Sí existe la palabra diner y es casi igual. ¿Cuál es la diferencia? Dinner, cena. Diner es un restaurante. Algo así como, ¿conocen Denny's? That's a diner. Como de esos lugares que están abiertos siempre y que te sirven como esta comida muy clásica. That's a diner. So this one, la cena, la comida, we would say dinner. Yes, Marisa?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
otherwise, everything else was fantastic. So thank you so much for sharing. And now let's go ahead and listen to Corina, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. I get up at 5 o'clock. I take a shower and brush my teeth. After, I prepare the breakfast After breakfast, I go to work at 7 o'clock. I eat lunch at 12:30. I go to home at 1:50. At 3 o'clock, I watch TV, and then I sleep 20 minutes. At 7 o'clock, I take English class online, and I go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Okay, fantastic. A very balanced day, I would say. You even have some reading in there, so that's good. Thank you so much, Karina. That was perfect. And now that we heard a series of routines, you guys, would anybody else like to participate before we move on to our next subject? Maria Luisa? Okay, fantastic. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
I get up at 8 o'clock and I get dressed. After I have breakfast and then I brush my teeth. I go to work at 9 o'clock. I eat lunch at 11 o'clock. Then at 4 o'clock, I have lunch while I'm watching TV. More later, at 7 o'clock, I have my English class. Finally, at 8 o'clock, I take a shower. And after, I watch TV. At 9 o'clock, I have dinner. And I go to bed at 11 o'clock.
That's great. I love to eat when I'm watching TV too. That's like my favorite thing. Eating and watching TV at the same time. So that was amazing, Maria Luisa. Wonderful. The only thing that I would correct is you said, I believe, more later. So remember, when we have a short word, if you're already saying the it's not necessary to say more. We only use more for very long words. Remember? So in this case, you can just eliminate more and later is fine, right? Okay, but everything else was really, really good. Awesome. So thank you, Maria Luisa. Now, Abraham, are you ready?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Thanks. My routine, I get up at 10:30 p.m., brush my teeth. I work at night from 11 o'clock p.m. to 6. My immediately ends my shift. Wake up. Sorry. Okay, my shift ends immediately. I go to sleep. I wake up around 1 o'clock p.m. I eat. After eat, I exercise and I take a shower. At 7 p.m. take my English class. After class, sometimes play video games or watch my favorite series, or depends on the day, I'm going to play soccer. Then I go to bed for a couple of hours and get up to work at 10:30 p.m.
Wow, so you work nights. Is it hard? Do you think it's harder than a regular day job?
It's hard.
It's hard. It sounds hard. So congrats.
Yes.
That sounds really difficult. And it's
Thank
great
you.
that on top of that, you find the time to do other things like play soccer or video games or English class. So good for you. Good for you, Abraham.
Thanks.
Alrighty. And then just to close off, para terminar, chicos, Olivia, please, whenever you're ready.
Okay. I get up at 11 o'clock. I brush my teeth and I walk my dog. Then I go to home and take a shower. After shower, I have lunch. At 2 o'clock, I cook the meal and listen music. At 5 o'clock, I eat dinner and make my homework. At 10 o'clock, I go online for English classes. Then I play Rummikub and make a smoothie. I go to bed at 11 o'clock.
That's fantastic. I love smoothies as well. So you said I make a smoothie and I was like, delicious. So the only
Yes.
thing that I would add, Olivia, is you said make my homework. So we would actually say do my homework. Cuando nosotros decimos make y do son un poquito difíciles porque significan lo mismo, significan hacer. ¿Cuál es la diferencia? Normalmente yo voy a usar make cuando es algo que yo elaboro con mis propias manos. Por ejemplo, tú me dijiste perfectamente bien, I make a smoothie. Es algo que tú creaste, ¿no? Es algo que no existía y que tú elaboraste con tus manos. Do, yo lo voy a usar para cosas que completo, por así decirlo. Mi tarea yo no la creé con mis manos. Mi tarea ya estaba creada, ya existía, yo nada más la completé. Por eso decimos, por ejemplo, do the dishes. Si yo digo do the dishes, significa que estoy completando una tarea, estoy lavando los trastes. Si yo dijera make the dishes, suena a que yo los hice, como que yo literal me puse a aprender a hacer
Yes.
cerámica y los fabriqué, ¿cierto?
Okay.
Entonces, so that's the only thing, but everything else was fantastic.
Sería I do my homework, ¿no?
I do my homework, exactly. But you did
Thank you.
great. You're welcome. Everything else was perfect. A-okay. Alrighty, guys. So now that you told me about your routines, you may not have realized it, but you have already started on a new grammar chapter. And this grammar chapter is called the simple present. Igual y no nos dimos cuenta, yo estaba hablando de mi rutina nada más, pero realmente lo que empezaron a hacer es a practicar el presente simple. Entonces, ustedes ya saben hablar en presente simple. Now, we already started doing it by talking about routines, but we can also use simple present for other things. Yo les digo, ya empezaron a hablar en el presente simple, pero ¿cuál es el presente simple y cuándo más lo puedo usar además de hablar de rutinas? That's what we're going to get into. So, we're going to open our notebooks if you would like to take some notes, and we're going to get into the grammar of it all. So, let me share the presentation. Here it is. Simple present. So, just like in Spanish, I'm going to use the simple present for things that are happening either every day or very often, things that are a routine, just like we've been doing. I'm also going to use it for habits, a habit that I have, something that I tend to do all the time or very frequently. And I'm also going to use it to talk about facts. I'm going to use it to talk about universal truths. Yo puedo usar, chicos, el presente simple de la misma forma que lo uso en español. Yo lo voy a usar para rutinas, es decir, cosas que yo hago de forma consistente o repetitiva. Lo voy a usar para hábitos que yo tengo, cosas que tengo la tendencia a hacer seguido. Y lo voy a usar para decir hechos o para decir verdades, por así decirlo. Hechos que no están, que no se ponen en duda, cosas que yo sé y que es una verdad universal. Por ejemplo, el sol sale todos los días, sale, está en presente. Entonces, cuando yo diga un hecho así, de esas cosas que no van a cambiar nada, que son una verdad inamovible, por así decirlo, ahí voy a usar mi presente simple. Y si se fijan, todos estos días que hemos hablado de rutinas, I go to bed, I have breakfast, I exercise, etc. Todo eso lo dije en presente simple. So, what is simple present and how do I use it? Before we start with a few examples, I'm going to play a video for you. And then this video is going to give us a few examples of what simple present is. So we're going to watch it first, and then I'm going to get into the explanation. We're going to explain a little bit more, but let's go ahead and watch first. Everybody can hear, right? Yes? Okay, wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Here we go.
The present simple. When do we use the present simple? 1.
To describe present truths.
I have black hair.
Julia works in a supermarket.
Andrew is a fireman.
2.
Repeated actions and habits.
My girlfriend and I go shopping every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday is a repeated action.
James reads the newspaper every morning.
If you do something every morning, it's a habit or a repeated action.
The children walk to school every morning.
Three.
Something that is always true.
Sharks are dangerous.
Egypt has lots of pyramids.
The sun sets in the west. Four.
A fixed future event.
The train arrives at 1 p.m.
The rocket launches next week.
The show starts in 10 minutes.
Alrighty, so those are the common situations where I'm going to use the present simple or the simple present. It's the same thing. So, number one, when I'm talking about something that is true right now, something that is true in this moment, algo que es cierto ahorita. Por ejemplo, I have headphones. Eso es cierto, lo pueden ver. Es una verdad que está ocurriendo en este momento. En este momento no quiere decir que yo tenga audífonos puestos el resto de mi vida, ¿cierto? Es algo que pasa ahorita, el del presente, como el nombre lo dice. When else can I use it? For a routine. Para rutinas, como vimos ayer y como vimos hoy, si es una acción que yo estoy repitiendo, no tiene que ser todos los días, pero algo que yo estoy repitiendo de forma consistente cada día, cada miércoles, cada fin de semana, cada mes. That's when I'm going to use the simple present. Cada mes voy con mis amigas a desayunar. Every month I go have breakfast with my friends. Every day I take my English class. Every morning, I have breakfast. I can also use it for universal truths. Como les decía, también lo puedo usar para verdades universales, cosas que se saben. For instance, the sun rises every morning. El sol sale cada mañana. Night is dark. La noche es oscura. Chocolate is delicious. Chocolate es delicioso. Universal truths. And then finally, I can also use it for something that I know is going to happen in the future. También lo puedo usar en algunas ocasiones para, no es lo más común necesariamente, pero se puede, cosas que van a pasar en el futuro, que yo ya sé que van a pasar en el futuro y que están programadas, por así decirlo. Por ejemplo, my husband arrives on Saturday. Mi esposo llega el sábado. Es algo que todavía no pasa, todavía no es sábado, y aún así, sin embargo, estoy usando el presente. Llega. Mi clase es a las 7. Y a lo mejor son las 11 de la mañana, pero mi clase es a las 7. Todavía no llega, pero puedo usar el presente para referirme al evento. So, how does the simple present work? So, we've already used it, even if you didn't realize it. But basically, here is the basic structure. If I'm using I, you, we, or they, I'm going to use the basic form of the verb. Si yo estoy haciendo una oración donde el sujeto, la persona que realiza la acción, es I, you, we, or they, yo voy a usar mi verbo de la forma más básica que exista. No le voy a poner a nada a mi verbo, no le voy a quitar nada a mi verbo, no le voy a agregar algo al final, ni le voy a poner algo al presente, lo voy a dejar así solito. However, if the person who is doing the action is he, she, or it, I'm going to use my basic verb, but I'm going to add an S or SES at the end. Si yo estoy hablando de que he, she, or it son las personas o la persona que está realizando la acción, entonces voy a usar mi verbo, pero aquí sí le voy a agregar algo. Le voy a agregar una S si termina en consonante o le voy a agregar una ES si termina en vocal. What does that look like? Let me show you. So, for instance, for the verb go, this is the normal, this is the basic form of the verb, and I'm going to leave it exactly the same. I'm not going to do anything to it. I go, you go, we go, they go. Yo voy, tú vas, nosotros vamos, ellos van. Está más fácil porque no le tengo que hacer absolutamente nada al verbo como en el español. Dejo mi verbo exactamente igual. I go, you go, we go, they go. However, if the person I'm talking about is a he, a she, or an it, I'm not going to say go. Instead, I'm going to add ES at the end. Why am I adding ES? Because go ends in a vowel. ¿Por qué le agregué ES? Porque go termina en vocal. Entonces no le voy a poner goes like this. I have to add ES at the end. Goes. So he goes, she goes, it goes. ¿Qué otro verbo que conocen hace esto? ¿No les suena de algo que ya vimos?
Do.
El do, exactly. So the verb do, we say I do, you do, we do, they do. And then what happens when I talk about he or she or it? I add es
does.
at the end. Entonces mi do se
It does,
transforma
she
en
does, it does.
Exactly. Se fijan que ya lo habíamos visto. So we do this because, as I said, do and go end with an O. They end with a vowel. Y entonces, como terminan con vocal, por eso le agrego el ES. Now, not every verb ends in a vowel. So if I have a verb that ends in a consonant, instead, what I'm going to do is just add the letter S. So I would say, I play, you play, we play, they play. And for he, she, and it, I add the S at the end. He plays, she plays, it plays. Right?
Plays.
Okay, can we think of an example for using the present in an affirmative sentence? ¿Qué ejemplo me pueden dar, chicos, donde usemos el presente simple? Using whatever you want. Let's see, Alberto, can you give us an example?
I play football, soccer every Sunday.
Okay, I play soccer every Sunday. Perfect. So we're using play because we're talking about a routine, right? So I'm using play because I'm using I. But let's say I talk about my brother instead. My brother play soccer every Sunday. Is this correct?
No.
Plays.
No, I would have to say plays. Exactly, because my brother is a he. So I have to, since I'm talking about another person, singular, I would have to add the S here. Yadira, can you give us another example using another verb?
Go to work
Okay.
every day.
I go to work every day. Now, if I wanted to say Corina go to work every day. Is this correct?
No.
No. How do I change it? Corina goes. Exactly. She goes to work every day. Let's do one more. Let me see. Who do I ask? Nancy, one more.
I eat corn in the night.
I eat corn?
In the night.
Okay, in the night. Okay.
El 16 de septiembre, pero me trabé ahí un poquito.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I eat corn in the night. In the night. I love corn. So if I wanted to say, for instance, we eat corn in the night. Is this correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is. What would be incorrect is if I did this. We eat corn in the night. That's not correct. But otherwise, we're good. So that's my simple present. Yo voy, tú vas, yo juego, yo nado, yo leo, nosotros leemos, ustedes nadan, etc. Presente. Simple. No le agrego nada, no le quito nada, a menos que esté hablando de he, she, it. Y en ese caso le agrego mi S. Yadira, yes.
Si mi palabra termina en E, para he, she, it, solo agrego la S, ¿cierto?
Cierto. Yes.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So, what happens when I do a negative? So the negative is exactly like when we were talking about the verb have. ¿Se acuerdan cuando hablábamos de have, que agregaba el don't y el doesn't? Pues es exactamente lo mismo, porque lo que vimos del have es el presente simple, tal cual. So, for instance, you remember that I can say, I have, or I can say, he has, she has, it has. Aquí es lo que conocemos como un verbo irregular porque no estoy diciendo haves, sino que cambio la palabra completamente. Pero fíjense que más o menos sigue esa tendencia de que lo termino en S para diferenciar. Entonces, eso también es presente simple. Ya lo habíamos visto, aunque no nos diéramos cuenta. So, the same thing that I apply for have, ¿se acuerda que decíamos I don't have? Y aquí en has decíamos he doesn't have. ¿Y qué les decía yo? No es necesario que me digan he doesn't has. ¿Por qué? Porque yo ya cambié mi verbo aquí. No necesito cambiarlo aquí. Lo puedo dejar exactamente igual. Y mi cambio que yo necesitaba lo puse aquí en mi verbo, en mi verbo auxiliar. So, he has, he doesn't have. I have, I don't have. Pues lo mismo, chicos, es para todos los demás verbos. So, for instance, I have a car. I don't have a car. She has a dog. How would I say this in the negative?
She doesn't have a dog.
She doesn't have a dog.
Have a dog.
She doesn't have a dog.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a dog. Acuérdense, bien importante. Lo que cambio es esto de aquí, no el verbo como tal, para los negativos. Nada más para los negativos. Si yo estoy hablando de los afirmativos, mis oraciones normales, ahí sí lo cambio. Let's do one more. I would say, I go to the gym. Olivia, how would I say this in the negative?
I don't go to the gym.
I don't go to the gym. Perfect. Now, he eats a lot of vegetables. Alberto, how do I say this in the negative?
He doesn't eat a lot of vegetable.
Okay, he doesn't eat a lot of vegetables. Is this right?
No,
Yeah.
se le quita.
Le quitamos.
Okay, eat.
Exacto. Acuérdense, ¿qué decíamos? Yo no necesito cambiar mi verbo principal si ya cambié mi verbo auxiliar. Yo aquí hagan de cuenta que ya le puse ese es que me falta. No necesito ponérselo acá. Entonces lo voy a dejar así. He doesn't eat a lot of vegetables. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Lo que sí, chicos, no me vayan a hacer es he don't eats. Eso sí, no. Se cambia este, no se cambia este. ¿Sale? Para los negativos. All right, so that's my negatives. I have a couple of examples here. I don't play, you don't play, we don't play, they don't play, he doesn't play, she doesn't play, it doesn't play. So just like we said. Now, what happens if I need to ask a question? Esto también ya lo vimos con el have y es exactamente igual. If I'm talking about I, you, we, or they, I'm going to start my question with do. Do, my subject, and then the verb. Si yo estoy hablando de que mi pregunta se refiere a un I, you, we, or they, yo voy a empezar mi pregunta con do. Luego voy a seguir con mi sujeto, la persona que está haciendo la acción. Y finalmente sigo con la acción como tal, mi verbo. Y no le voy a hacer absolutamente nada a mi verbo. ¿Por qué? Porque ya lo estoy indicando aquí. A este verbo lo voy a dejar exactamente igual. Lo único que voy a cambiar es esta primera palabrita de aquí. Do o does. Entonces, for instance, I would have, do you play soccer? I can do this for every single verb. Lo hicimos ya con el have. Do you have a car? Do you have a car? Do you exercise every day? Do you eat, I don't know, do you eat candy? Do you swim? Do you swim in the summer? Every single verb can go here. And I'm not going to change it at all. Cualquier verbo, chicos, en forma simple. No le voy a cambiar nada, no le voy a poner nada, no le voy a quitar nada. Lo único es que sí le agrego este do al principio para hacerlo pregunta. Eso es lo que me va a indicar que es una pregunta. Porque si yo le quito el do, ¿qué pasa? Where's my thing? Here it is. Que ya no es pregunta. You have a car. Tienes un coche. No es un ¿tienes un coche? Es un tienes un coche. Lo estoy afirmando. Entonces, este do lo que hace es que me indica que estoy haciendo una pregunta. So, let's see if we can get a few more examples. Well, one example because I have to go. Maria Luisa, can you give us an example for a question?
Do you go to school today?
Okay, do you go to school today? ¿Hoy vas a la escuela? Yes, well done. And then once I respond the question, I'm going to do it the same way that I saw the have and the has. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Igualito que el have que vimos previamente. Yes, I do. No, I don't. So we're going to leave it here, you guys, for today, because I have my 8 p.m.ers waiting in the room. But I will see you guys. I will see you guys very soon. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and thank you for being here. Bye bye.
Sí,
Bye.
thank you, teacher. Excellent
Bye,
class.
thank you.
Thank you.